Hello fellow NPC, my name is Thomas and welcome back to my channel. Here we cover any and all indie or AAA games worth your time and hard-earned money. If you like this content, consider giving a like and subscribe as I'm very new to YouTube and it helps a ton. Chapter 1, Self-Fulfilling Prophecy. EA abandons its biggest mobile title with no compensation. What kind of Logan Paul crypto rug pull is this? You heard me right, folks. EA has somehow managed to unsurprisingly anger their player base once again. Hell, I don't even play that many EA games, including Apex Legends Mobile, which is the topic of this video, but even I am riled up. You've probably heard the details already. EA has announced it's canceling its Apex Legends mobile game, with servers shutting down 4 p.m. on May 1st of this year, and the unreleased Battlefield mobile game, as news breaks that EA is shutting down its Industrial Toys game studio altogether just before the release of their 2022 financial performance review. In addition, all in-game purchases made in Apex Legends Mobile will not be refunded, with microtransactions being barred from the game as of yesterday, January 31st. While this may not come as a surprise to some of you, there are probably many of you that feel direct pain from this decision by EA. Although the average spend on the game from person to person may have been anywhere from $10 to $100, after Diablo Immortal, it's not unreasonable to assume someone could or has spent upwards of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on a game that just had its life support cut only after a year of release, echoing the failures of other EA titles like Anthem, despite promises of continued support and live service. This type of corporate oopsie daisies is exactly why I wanted to make this video. Hell, it's why I made this channel in the first place. With every year that passes, I can feel my childhood naivety slowly crumble to a sad pile of dust as I mentally prepare myself for what abominable cruelty will be pushed on us next from the gaming industry I once admired. From the empty promises of infinite content, cough cough, in the form of battle passes, seasons, and every other synonym for give me your money, idiot, I've lost faith in a lot of game studios the past 10 years, and it's only gotten worse. There's a whole generation of gamers with us now, and more generations yet to come, who will only grow up with current industry practices and have no reference to how gaming truly felt before their time. I'm no old man. I actually turned 27 today, so maybe I am to a lot of you, but it feels like not too long ago, I was sitting in front of my 20-inch brick of a TV playing Medal of Honor Frontline on GameCube, thinking, holy shit, this is my life now. While gaming had its flaws back then, with parents and media calling its influence dangerous and potentially life-ruining, I wasn't going to let that get in the way of me having fun with my friends. However, for those of you who spend money on mobile games, you have to realize it's not your parents warning you this time. It's your peers. And we actually know what we're talking about. Chapter 2, Performance Review. To first understand the focus of this video, we have to take a look at EA's newest 2022 performance review released at the end of January. While this part of the video may feel like a lesson in school, pouring through public financial data of a company is the only way to place yourself in the point of view of shareholders, the entities that profit off EA's success. Despite what you may think, EA as a company does not work for the audience it monetizes. Rather, they work for the shareholders in which their profit ultimately benefits. A major part of these documents is to address the shareholders of the company. It is a rare instance that we can see how a large company like EA actually thinks and acts outside of the contrived "we serve the gamers" rhetoric. So let's start with something easy, math. Don't worry, this is really easy math, so let me show you. According to data from AppMagic, Apex Legends Mobile has surpassed 26 million downloads and generated more than 20 million in revenue from those downloads. In direct comparison, Andrew Wilson, the CEO of EA, took home $19.858 million in compensation last year. Can any of you tell me what 20 million divided by 20 million is? It's 1. Apex Legends Mobile players made a 1-to-1 monetary contribution to Andrew Wilson's $20 million bonus payout. Andrew is drinking the finest of alkaline gamer tears on the market. So what this part of the financial performance review states to player base, that EA did so poorly in 2022 in the mobile space that the revenue from the game had to go directly into the pockets of the CEO. Tough times for corporate execs, eh? Now if you're saying to yourself, hey Thomas, stop hating on EA's CEO. He takes on more financial risk as a result of leading the company and does more work than you've done your entire life. Well, to you I'd say, you're right. But this isn't about me. It's about ethics. As we move our direction away from the CEO and towards a new hire on the executive board, Mr. Sue, we can take a look at his annual base pay of $700,000. In addition, his new hire sign-on bonus was in the amount of $4 million, and his new hire equity reward was $3 million. You can start to understand why EA is trying to push for multiple mobile games in development with the same monetary microtransaction models of its predecessor, Apex Legends Mobile. This is to directly feed the salaries, bonus, and total compensation of its executive board. So let's take a look at total compensation for the entire executive board. The base salary for all executives is closing in on $1 million, with Andrew over that. And if we look at the fiscal year 2022 summary compensation table, you look at the very far right column, if you add up all of the 2022 total compensation, it equals $66.25 million total. So yeah, Apex Legends Mobile did so poorly they could only pay one executive. So sad. Despite your position on late-stage capitalism, there is a warning sign here that echoes through the entire industry. Chapter 3. More money, more problems. Why do game developers and studios push monetization on their beloved games, despite every sign that it will create animosity within the player base towards each other and the company itself? Well, this is why. EA is a public company. In theory and in practice, EA does not have any responsibility towards the satisfaction of their player base as long as profits rise. If you're unaware who or what BlackRock Investment is, it's one of the largest investment firms in the world, with $10 trillion in total funds that they manage. They own the largest stake in EA, so ask yourself, who's the real decision maker in EA? More investment means more votes at board meetings, so this should start to become a little more clear. As a public company, EA has a fiduciary duty to grow BlackRock and Friends investments. So imagine what the conversations look like when Andrew Wilson has to tell BlackRock that their big mobile title, Apex, only made enough to cover his bonus. BlackRock wants their cut, and EA needs to deliver more money. But games have had a global reach now for the past 2 decades, with technology pushing multiplayer into a more seamless and cohesive product, that now all games feel like a housewarming party for 8chan posters. Game studios have ran out of ideas on how to grow, because their games are accessible by everyone around the globe. With more people playing on mobile every year, this space is becoming the sole opportunity to grow sales. The short and sweet point here is that it's your fault that Apex Legends Mobile died. You didn't spend enough money. Chapter 4. Social Responsibility. A major determining factor in the bonus payouts of executives at EA is financial performance. In EA's own words, they describe the formula as such: base salary times target bonus percentage times company performance, 50% of which is weighted for financial and 50% for business performance, times individual performance modifier equals NEO bonus payout. However, all companies also have a mission statement that determine how the company conducts their business, and EA have stated that they are putting a heavier weight on ESG, which stands for environmental, social, and governance. This includes, per EA, building diverse teams, positive play, privacy and security, along with all the things the acronym actually stands for. While this may seem all well and good, I want you to look more closely at these 2 points. Now that we have the reference that EA has killed their mobile titles with no compensation, furthered our commitment to positive play? Huh? Social impact? What the hell does that even mean? Social impact? Oh, you mean indoctrinating young and susceptible human beings into your gotcha gambling ring? It has been said again and again that the adoption of current microtransaction models is debilitating, assisting in the creation of real mental illness, gambling addiction. This isn't the fault of the individual. I know so many of you want some personal responsibility directed at the people who buy into this shit. But trust me, EA on its own accord will only act in a way that promotes this kind of business model. And at what point do we go, okay, maybe the advertising is just inescapable? People try to stop when they know gambling will ruin their life and finances, but our brains don't work like that. Our brains seek dopamine, and undeniably do we know the effects of loot boxes on dopamine production. Moreover, to prove my point, look at how EA describes their audience. Frictionless access helps players discover, buy, and enjoy amazing games. This is a dog whistle to every investor that mobile gaming is here to stay, but its practices will not. Mobile gaming will become more predatory over the next decade, asking for thousands of more dollars from each individual, while simultaneously giving players no guarantee they will be able to enjoy that game in perpetuity, or at least for the post-launch development that all these companies like 343 and EA promise. Look, all this is to say, when EA says they care about social impact, they mean that in the most alternative way possible. They want their social impact to be grand, but do not care about the specifics of what that impact looks like. Chapter 5. We're all humans. Well, except for corporate executives, they're the new wave of humans. So insanely rich, in 100 years, the only people left on this earth will be the children of game studio executives. I mean, come on, people. You're throwing away your own financial investments and security into mobile games to ensure the only people who have a say in our enjoyment of the industry is BlackRock Investments, whose entire existence is to grow more monopoly money out of the $10 trillion they already manage. This amount of money is inconceivable. What you do when you spend your real money on these fake in-game NFTs, and don't get me wrong, that's exactly what they are, is converting what was real into literally play money for money managers. The more you spend, the more stock price rise, and the more signaling that occurs to continue this behavior. If we look again at the 2022 pay ratio, it states that the median salary for regular employees at EA, game developers, marketers, artists, etc., that actually develop our games is 172 to 1 compared to the CEO. Now, although some companies have an executive pay differential of up to 300 to 1, the average employee would have to work 128 years to achieve the same financial success as the CEO. If only a handful of people make up a board of directors for every company, you start to see exactly how we ended up in the timeline where the average person can't afford to live, not to mention spend their money on your shitty game that will die next year. I'll end this video here on that sentiment. I don't want you to end this video and be angry. I want you to end this video and delete the mobile games off your phone and go try Punch a Bunch or Elden Ring or any other game that is deserving of your time and money. Unlike EA, I feel like I have an admirable mission statement with my business, this channel, to help educate people on alternatives, games that treat you like a human, games that don't treat you like an NPC, a means to an end, the very bottom of your wallet. Thank you for watching. Give this video a like and subscribe if you learned something, and if you absolutely hate my take, tell me why in the comments. Hopefully, we can start an ongoing conversation on this channel about this type of business practice. I honestly care about every single one of you in a more abstract way, as this channel isn't big enough yet for me to actually talk to the individuals watching. But the whole purpose of this discussion is just to be more aware of the institutions in place that provide us our favorite games. And as always, I'll catch you in the next video.